This is it, right?
I said you're 12.
Okay. Are we ready?
Saturday morning? Today's a Saturday. Tomorrow's the 8th, Friday. 9th is, the 9th is Saturday.
Hi.
Huh?
Good morning.
Not the
Are
12th.
ready?
So what's your route? How you going?
Spend the night in Abilene. Decided to take, I've been to Amarillo,
Yeah.
decided to go to Abilene.
And from Abilene, where do you go?
Santa Fe,
Up through,
whatever, however the route is, I don't know, look at it.
I don't know that route. I mean, you gotta come up into I-20 somewhere, I guess. Like Truth or Consequences. Or,
Truth or Consequence, that's a great name, huh?
yeah.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order for the DDD Design Committee. It's Thursday, September 7, 2023, 9 a.m. Will you please call roll?
Chris Bankston, Tara Bennett,
Here.
Roy Dufresh,
Yes.
Michelle
Here.
Juneau, Tom Pastorius, Cassie Reagan,
Here.
Jeffrey Smith.
Hey, hand me one of those. Hand me a folder.
All right, our only item of old business is approval of the meeting minutes from August 3rd, 2023. Those are in your packet, so does anybody have questions, comments, or changes?
I thought I saw one little typo, but, maybe you fixed it.
I see one right here
There's a
on the back.
Where is it?
T
Word
missing in front of,
occur.
Violation? Is that what y'all are on, number?
On the back, on the 12th line, should any problems occur?
Do you see that?
From the top? I think,
Above, review of railroad park history exhibit, 2 lines above that, violation doesn't have a T, is that what y'all are talking about?
mm-hmm. It's minor stuff, just spelling.
yeah.
I move we approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Go ahead, Terry.
Chris Bankston, Tara Bennett,
Yes.
Roy Dufresh.
Yes.
Michelle Juneau, Tom Pastorius, Cassie Reagan,
Yes.
Jeffrey Smith.
Yes.
All right, moving on to new business. We only have one item. That is a facade grant for 305 East Charles Street, the First Christian Church across the street. I'm sure y'all will recall that we did a grant for them earlier. It was in the previous fiscal year. We're in a new fiscal year. That was for the refinishing the wood doors, and this is for replacing the broken glass. So I think everything is in here. Did they have to go before historic?
They did, I do have the certificate. here.
Okay, so they have everything.
Yes, we had it for their initial, whenever, they've grouped together their doors and the windows. This is up here, if you want to take a look
I'm
at
glad
it.
to see them doing this. This is great Desmond building, glad to see them taking care of it.
It's up here.
Okay,
And they're also, well, they're currently replacing the roof right now, or they're in the final stages of doing that. So a lot of improvements happening over on this important building.
that's great.
Since I'm in the moving motion, I'll move to accept this, approved grant application.
Okay,
I'll second it.
Chris Bankston, Tara Bennett,
yes.
Roy Dufresh.
Yes.
Michelle Juneau, Tom Pastorius, Cassie Reagan,
Yes.
Jeffrey Smith.
Yes.
That is the only item of new business we have. Are we streaming?
We are.
Okay, we didn't have any public comment.
I haven't seen seen any come through yet.
Okay. Anybody else have anything?
Very quick meeting.
So what's the status of the sidewalk stuff we went over last meeting?
We will, Andre took a look at it, Lacey took a look at it. We'll make some final tweaks. The board talked about it at our August meeting, and we'll be able to put that online very soon and make it available to property owners.
I think we approved it based on their comments and suggested changes. So it's, yeah, it should be available.
I'll just mention for the record on another issue that we, after last month's meeting, we had Historic District, DDD Board approval of the history exhibits for Railroad Park, which are now in ASI's hands, and they're getting ready to provide us a mock-up, actual print on the high-pressure laminate, so we'll be seeing that, I'm assuming, before long. So, what, October, sometime end of October, early November?
Yeah, they haven't quite gotten us that mock-up yet, so I think before they do that full print, they want us just to make sure that the colors and the background and everything works well on that final product. So once we get that in hand and we think it looks good and everything kind of is readable, then they'll do that full production. So I would say, I mean, they said about a 6-week lead time, so it could be end of October, middle of October, but it is nearing completion.
Not to add work to you, but when you get the mock-up in, can you just shoot an email to the committee
Yeah.
and to the board? Anybody who's
Looked at it.
interested, wants to come see it, maybe just give us a time frame. You can give us like 2 hours if you need to, but,
Okay, yeah.
you know, just, hey, it's here, you have until whenever to come take a look at it.
Mhm. Yeah, we can do that.
Is that okay?
Mhm.
Can I also ask how the stroll went? I missed it.
I think it went well. I mean, I know there's a survey out right now.
Mhm.
It was different, but we were busy. There were people downtown all day from, I guess, when the market opened at 8, because we opened at 10 and there were tons of people.
Mhm. Yeah. Overall, I think the feedback has been really positive. We changed, not basically everything, but we changed quite a bit. So, there's some behind the scenes logistical things that, we'll have to kind of work out. But the flow of the day, I think it worked better for crowd control. But evidently, according to Chief Bergeron, he said it was the largest after-event crowd that he's seen, so they had a lot of people that they had to manage. But in terms of our, kind of earlier daytime crowd, almost every merchant that I've spoken to enjoyed kind of not being overwhelmed by so many people. So it was just, in general, more enjoyable, I think, for our merchants and for the people who were doing the wine and cheese stroll, for parents and for kids, for people to actually go into the shops and spend time in the shops and restaurants. So I think there's a few tweaks here and there just for timing, and since it was our first time switching to a Saturday, there's a little bit room for improvement, but overall it seemed to work well. We still had a really big crowd, it was just kind of the spacing everything out, and the new route that we did along Charles kind of spread people out too, so everyone could kind of see more of downtown and just stroll about. So, and I'm just thankful for all of our businesses that really hosted all the great activities that we had. That was some feedback that we got from the public too. It just seemed like there was more to do in the businesses versus like, we usually would have car show and then a vendor spot, and we still had the main stage, but people could see more of the businesses, and so everyone really appreciated that. Bringing back the artists was something that people are really excited about too. So lots of positive things and some minor tweaks here and there, but overall I think it went well.
So you're saying that after the event was over, the crowd stayed downtown that night?
Mm-hmm. Yep, after 7. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, our main stage act ended at 8, but a lot of our restaurants and bars had entertainment lined up after our event ended technically. So all the nightlife, like the bar crowd, kind of, there was, at Fitz alone, Chief Bergeron said that between Kate and Cypress, that whole block along Robert was full of people. So there's some crowd control that still happens after our event ends with the nightlife that kind of comes into town. But, you know, kind of, we got our daytime crowd and we have our nighttime crowd, so.
Was there mischief involved or just a lot of people?
Just a lot of people. I mean, overall, the event was super safe. We had officers from Hammond PD and several other units that came in, and really they were at every intersection, just making sure that everything was safe. People really enjoyed, the public really enjoyed the active police presence that was in downtown, just with, you know, crowd control and, you know, we still have cars coming in through town, so just making sure that people are crossing the street safely. So they were very pleased to see that. And Chief Bergeron had some feedback too about, you know, some improvement for the full Saturday kind of layout and how it works best to man for his officers to really help us with the event. So we'll be making some minor tweaks, but we couldn't have done it without them.
So the crowd after was bigger than a normal Saturday night?
Yeah, that's what he said it was the biggest crowd after Hot August that he has seen.
Okay.
So whether it's because it's on a Saturday and there's already a bigger crowd on Saturday, or because for whatever reason, maybe we reached more students this year for whatever reason.
Well, that was the first weekend after school started, right?
And schools, yeah.
Or was it the second
It was
weekend
the
after
second
school started?
weekend.
But they were, yeah,
Yeah.
I have a feeling that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah, but the bar crowd, certainly, all of our bars, they were very busy after our event hours. And our restaurants too, like I said, most of them had some entertainment lined up, and they were playing music until 11:30 or midnight. So they capitalized on all those people who wanted to stay in downtown, and kind of filled that gap there. So it was safe. I think it was, we were able to kind of accommodate more needs out of this Saturday switch, other than it being absolutely hot. We did have a break though. Around 3 o'clock, we had like a rain cloud come through and a little bit of a sprinkle, and we had overcast kind of through that afternoon. Lionpalooza was overcast, so all in all, the weather was probably the best we could have asked for.
Yeah, considering El Nino.
Oh yeah, yeah. And literally everything else that we could have had. So it's good. Yeah.
All right, we are adjourned.
Yes.
Meeting after that.
Yeah.
How did it smell?